Welcome to Bougie and Boring, a spa business podcast. I'm Amanda Luisa, a licensed skincare professional and spa owner. This podcast is all about creating a business that's both high-end and effortless. What I like to call bougie and boring, because the goal isn't chaos and overwhelm, it's simplicity and ease. I'll show you how to build a spa that runs smoothly, feels inspiring, and is so well structured, it practically runs itself. You'll learn how to create a business that's not just successful, but truly enjoyable to own. Let's get right into it. Hello and welcome back to this episode of Bougie and Boring. You've made it through the hiring process. You've given a job offer to someone and they have accepted it. I am so excited for you. This is the beginning. It's just the beginning of this wonderful new phase in your business. So if you want to build a successful, scalable business, you have to think beyond just filling a role. You have to start thinking about building a team, and that's exactly what we're going to dive into today on this episode. So the truth about hiring is that it's not just a one and done process. Hiring isn't just about bringing on one new esthetician and calling it a day. Your spa is always evolving, and at some point you're going to need to hire again. And some mistakes that I see people making is that once they hire, they assume, all right, my problems are all solved, and they don't prepare for growth, and they don't set up the systems that will make future hiring easier. It's not something that you can just, they sign some papers and they show up for work and that's it. No, it is ongoing, and it can feel like you are slowing down at first and you just don't have the time to slow down. But I promise you, if you just take 2 or 3 hours to sit down, write out this system that I have shared with you, and to really map it out so that the next time you hire someone, you will go even faster than you did this time. So a lot of the people that I coach, the spa owners that I help, they expect that this new hire is just, we'll just figure it out without the proper onboarding, right? So no, hiring is an ongoing process. You have to set yourself up for this long-term success so that you can set up this esthetician and your overall team for that long-term success as well. So it's all about building a team, not just filling a role, okay? So a business with a strong team runs so smoothly, even when you're not there, especially when you are not there. So if you treat hiring as just finding someone to do the work, you'll constantly struggle, and it's going to feel like hiring is not for you and that this is like too hard, it's stressful, it's overwhelming. Okay, so you need to create a culture where people thrive and they stay long term. Okay, so how to build a strong team: hire with the future in mind, not just for those immediate needs. Set clear expectations and goals and growth opportunities for your employees. And just focus on team dynamics. Make sure that every hire fits into the bigger picture, okay? A great team doesn't just happen, it's built intentionally. So prepare for this growth, okay? You need to have a really good onboarding and training, and it's just going to get better and better as you onboard and train new people. Okay, so a structured onboarding process sets the tone for your success and the success of your new hires. So they should know exactly what is expected of you from day one. So what do you include on day one? I will tell you what I do and what I recommend to my coaching clients. I have a welcome packet, and it has all of the spa policies, the handbook, the expectations, everything. I kind of give them a rundown of what their schedule will look like for the next 2 weeks, which is kind of like a shadowing period where they learn all about your systems. And you're going to I do daily check-ins for the first 2 weeks, and then we move that gradually to weekly check-ins, and then monthly check-ins is kind of where I like to linger, just because I do own a fast-paced, very quickly moving spa, and so if any issue arises or comes up, if an issue arises or comes up, and they're just not able to talk to me about it right away, then we can address it there and kind of brainstorm and troubleshoot together of like how we solve this problem. Or, maybe someone is going through a hard time and they just want to tell me in private, those types of things. But those first 2 weeks, what I do to set up my team member to be successful is honestly, I spend the first 3 or 4 days of intense training, and then I have them practice on me. I have them practice on other team members. I've brought family in, I've brought friends in, I've brought clients in, and I will have that new hire practice on them. And so the first time I'm literally just right there, all up in this SD's business, it's actually all up in my business because this is my business, right? So I got to make sure that this person is performing things the way that I would like. And I just communicate that with them from the very get-go. And I tell them, hey, I'm not meaning to come off like any type of way, but I just want to let you know that this training process is very quick. It's intense, and I am going to be all up in your business, looking over your shoulder, literally looking over your shoulder. Sometimes I even put my hands over their hands to show them how things go. Because remember, I'm hiring people fresh out of school, so they don't have years of experience of facial massage the way that I do. And so the pressure needs to be a certain way and the direction needs to be a certain way. And so that's honestly what I do. And, another thing too, I'm kind of going off script here and on a little bit of a tangent, but I like to hire in twos. It was something that was recommended to me by a mentor, and I knew that I wanted really fast growth. And in order to do that, I needed to hire more people. So, I hired 2 at a time, and I've done this many, many times. I think almost every single time that I've hired, it has been in 2s, and it's great because they can work on each other and they're learning while they're working on each other, and it creates this healthy competition. And I just find that things go so much faster. But anyways, so in that first, in this onboarding and training period, I will reach out to my email list, and I will say, hey, there is an opportunity. We are hiring on 2 brand new estheticians, or 1 brand new esthetician. I'm so excited for you to meet her. She's such a good fit for our team and this beautiful community that we've created. And so what I do is I will offer a pretty steep discount to the first 5 people that schedule with the esthetician. And so what I do is on that, and I get them all scheduled on a Saturday. And that's just because there's more availability for the clientele that I'm trying to bring in for the training models, so I will book them back to back to back to back, just like I would any other day. And so I tell my new SD, hey, you're doing this. I've watched you do 2 or 3 facials on coworkers or family or whatever. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to observe you as you do this with clients. And so I will ask them, I actually just asked them, would you prefer that I point things out to you as you go, or would you rather hear the feedback at the end? For me, I don't really care, because sometimes it can stop the flow, and the person is just not quite there to be able to hear it properly at that point. And so I like to meet people where they're at, so long as it is within reason. And so that's a question that I ask, and I will just bring a notebook or a clipboard and pen. And I don't think I've ever had anyone say that they want to hear the feedback at the end. I think they've all said, no, I'd prefer that you tell me right now so that I can change it as it's happening. And so what I'll do is I will have them start with the first client. I'll observe, I'll make comments, I'll take notes, And then the second one, I do the same thing. And I usually don't have to make as many comments or notes. And then by the third one, that's the one where I'm kind of like, okay, I'm sitting, I'm observing. I haven't really had to say much. So the fourth one is, all right, I'm going to have you do this by yourself. And I'm going to be here in the building, just 2 rooms over if you need me. But I'm going to have you do this on your own. And so she does it on her own. She even checks out the client at the end of that. And then on the fifth one, I say, awesome. Okay, what issues did you encounter? And we'll discuss. And then I'll say, great, apply. We'll troubleshoot. We'll come up with a solution to whatever the thing is that she was concerned about. And then I will say, great, okay, apply what you learned to this last client. And then they do it all again. And it just builds their confidence, right? So they come in on a Monday, and by Saturday, they're working on real clients that they're checking out. They're getting tipped. They're working. They are working. And they are making the business money. Okay. So even at a discount, she's at least paying for herself, which is awesome. And so, so that is kind of what I have done to get the esthetician paying for herself. And then the following day, what I do is I will open up one day of that week for that esthetician. And I make it so that people can book for the thing that she was trained on, which in this example is a facial. And so that way she can start actually seeing clients and getting that revenue in the door. If you have a wait list, this is a great opportunity to reach out to those people, get those people on her books. And then any new client that calls will go straight to her books. Let's see, what else? Another thing for onboarding that I really want to make you aware of, it's a process that is a system that I created right when I hired that has served me so well. And I've told so many people about it, and I highly, highly recommend it. And that is to have the esthetician rate themselves on a scale of 0 to 10 for each service that you offer. So I have them, I make a worksheet. All I have to do when I hire next is just print it out and I give it to them. It has the directions at the top, and it just says, it's a list of all the services we offer. Everything from bikini wax to lash tint to acne facials, everything. And I will put a little dash next to it, and I say, rate yourself on a scale of 0 to 10 on how confident you feel performing this task today. So if I were to throw them into a room, would they feel comfortable performing this task? Oftentimes, especially if they're fresh out of school, they will rate themselves a 10 out of 10 for facials. And I'm like, great. So we're going to start with facials and give them a very quick win. We're going to give them that opportunity to start generating revenue for your business so that they are not just costing money, they are actually bringing it in, and you can start getting them trained on things and they are so excited and they're loving it, right? Because they are seeing themselves succeed immediately. And then we'll start going over those things that are maybe like, 7, 6, 5 out of 10s. And we'll go in more in depth on those things on days where she's not seeing clients. I still invite them in, and then we will continue training. And I do like I said, it's a very intense, in-depth training. And it typically lasts about a month. But like I said, by the end of that very first week, she is seeing clients. And sometimes she's only been in for 2 or 3 days at this point, training. Okay, so it is totally possible for whoever you hire to start generating money for your business right away. And in fact, there's even a possibility for you to start turning a profit within a month if you have a wait list, if you have enough demand. Okay. So if you're needing more help on this, please just book a discovery call with me. And I'm so happy to talk you through this with like one-on-one coaching and stuff like that. So I could talk about this for hours, but let's just keep going on with this podcast episode because I want to make sure that we get through it as well. So some mistakes you want to avoid during the onboarding and training process is to don't just throw them into a service without the proper guidance, right? You have to train them on how to do things. An esthetician can be technically really great, but if they don't understand the spa's flow and the values, then this is just not going to work, right? So you have to elaborate, get really granular in your details. And so those are the things that are going to help them just be so successful. And another thing too is to make sure that you're recording yourself as you're doing these trainings, because it's going to be a great reference for the esthetician to go back to in order to like, if she doesn't get something, she can rewatch it and be like, oh, that's what that means. That totally makes sense. And it can also be something that you task the esthetician to watch these videos, these training videos, whenever they have downtime. Okay. So make sure that you're recording yourself. And you're recording yourself on video, and then you're also writing everything you're doing out step by step. Because some people are visual learners. Some people are audio learners. Some people need to read it in order to really learn it. Okay, so, and this process is called SOP, making SOPs, standard operating procedures, right? So the things that are going to make your team work really well, even when you're not there. Okay. Another thing to prepare for growth is creating an employee handbook. This is so important. It's something we go over on the very first day of their hire. A handbook reduces so much confusion and will make training so much easier, right? You're basically ensuring that consistency within your spa. And you want to include things like expectations, client interaction guidelines, dress code, core values, policies on scheduling and attendance and time off and team communication and social media. Like, there's just so many things that you want to have in your handbook. And I will always read through it with them so that I know that they know every single thing within that handbook. And then we both sign it at the end. So think of your handbook as your spa's instruction manual, right? It makes everything run so much smoother, okay? And then think about, like, just the next step in this process is to begin thinking about the next hire. Start thinking ahead. If you're growing, this is not going to be your last hire, okay? So start preparing now. Every hire should make your next hire even easier, okay? So how do you prepare for future hiring? You keep a list of potential candidates, right? Because they should still keep coming in, even if you're not hiring yet. Update your job description and the hiring process after every single hire. Just block off that time on your calendar and really make sure that you are updating everything so that you don't have to be scrambling and overwhelmed the next time that you hire, right? So identify these gaps that could be in your team and start planning for that next role once this initial candidate is up and running on her own, right? So you don't want to wait until you're overwhelmed again to start this hiring process. So stay ahead of it. You can absolutely do this, okay? Your next step is to write down one process within your spa that needs improvement before hiring your next team member, and start documenting your onboarding process for your future hires. It's going to make your life so much easier. And if you feel like you don't have the time to do that, then please book a discovery call with me. We can address this head on and really get your time back in a way that is not going to force you to pay yourself less. It's going to add more work-life balance. It's going to take things off your plate instead of putting more things on. There's absolutely a way around this. I have been in your shoes. I know exactly how it feels. It is not a good feeling, and you don't have to feel this way. Okay, there's definitely a solution. So go ahead and book that call with me. Keep listening to the podcast, and I'm so excited to talk to you in the next one. Stay tuned for upcoming episodes where we're going to dive into how to pay yourself more, client retention strategies, leadership, creating a spa that has incredible systems that will truly allow your business to run itself. So thanks for tuning in. I can't wait to keep growing with you on these future episodes. Peace and love, my friend. I'll see you next time. Bye. If you found value in today's conversation, don't forget to subscribe or share with a spa owner friend. You can also leave a review on iTunes, and in the comments section, ask any question you want, and I'm so happy to answer it right here on the podcast. Ready for the next step? Schedule a free 30-minute discovery call to see how I can help you with your business. You can also head over to amandaluisaconsulting.com and grab a free resource. I've got so many good ones over there. Whether it's hiring, paying yourself more, overcoming burnout, I've got you covered with resources to help make your business bougie and boring. Peace and love, my friend. I'll talk to you soon.